Welcome to Mindless Entertainment. My name is Jessie Milestone, and today we are going to be talking about some more Star Wars erotica. Yes, that's right. If you go back, you can find there's another video in which we talk about Star Wars erotica, and this is the same author indeed. This is Miss Becky Embers all over again. She has a new story out currently called The Dark Side. It is a Padme Anakin slash, and it takes place timeline wise. This is after they're married, after he's become a Jedi Master, before he's gone full dark side, but he's definitely flirting with it at this point. And I talked about it last time, and I talked about, you know, how writing, the way she wrote the three-way with Leia, Han, and Lando, she really sort of captured the tone of the originals in a really nice way. And she does it again here. She gets Star Wars. Like, she gets these characters. This is clearly something, I mean, and she's written other slash stories. She's written other things. I haven't read the other ones, so I don't know if she's tapped into those as well as she is here. But the way she writes, I mean, this is something, it feels like she knows this. It feels like this is really close to her. I mean, maybe not this exact story, but maybe it is. Who knows? So it's really well written. That's the whole thing, is like, I don't know if you've read a lot of slash on the interweb, but most of it is written so terribly. Like, the prose suck. It's hard to get through, because, I mean, you're like, at this point, why don't I just watch porn? Because, I mean, for me, we'll talk about that. We're not going to talk anything about the thing I just thought about in my head. It's not happening. Forget it. But when you read something, right, it's so hard to, it's hard to get hard when you're like, God, I don't even know what word you're saying, because that's not a grammatically correct sentence or spelling whatsoever. And that's not an issue at all. It is better written. It is easily better written than anything E.L. James wrote for 50 Shades of Grey. Like, that shit is refuse and garbage, and it's written by a woman who doesn't sound like she's ever had sex. Becky Embers is clearly a person who has had sex, and the proof is in the fact that she has a child. But the prose are nice. Like, if she could write other things, she could write non-erotic things probably, and they would be good. But definitely the erotic stuff. So the plot, the premise here, and it's fun. It's so fun. It's so, and it's just, again, it captures like what this relationship probably would be. It's Anakin pulls out these Zygerian slave shackles that basically punish you. They know when you have any rebellious thoughts or any thoughts that go against your master's wishes, and it punishes you with an electric shock. So it starts out with this sort of role-playing where he's, you know, master and she's subservient to him, which is, like, definitely a thing that would make sense within his psychology, you know, and it's really, it's like, it's fun in some ways, because you're like, oh God, this is happening, but it's also really real. You're like, I could buy this. I could totally believe everything that's happening here, you know. And then it gets real dark, where he, like, reaches out, he force chokes her a little bit. He's getting down with that dark side a little bit, and it's interesting, because then she'll sort of switch perspectives a little bit from one to the other, and it gets into her being like, yes, I'm so aroused by this is so exciting, but I also have these concerns for, like, what this means about you, and I'm worried about you. And there's even a great line that I love in it, where he's kind of getting into the master slave girl role play, and she just brings up, like, is this not going to bring up bad memories? You know, it's not going to bring up, you know, flashbacks of when you were a slave and stuff like that. And it's just so, like, it's nuanced. It's like, this belongs, I mean, if there was ever a XXX rated version of Star Wars, like, this scene belongs in it. It's great. There's a couple, the one thing I will call, and this I think is the hardest thing with erotica too, is how many different ways can you describe, you know, a dick or a vagina, you know? There's all sorts of, and how do you do it in a way that's creative, that's not cliche, that hasn't been done before, but it doesn't sound cheesy as hell. I think she crosses that line in one part where she describes his cock as a flesh-burrowing machine. So just be aware, if you read this fanfic, there will be a flesh-burrowing machine at one point, my friends. One of the really fun things sorry, let me I have to find this line because it's so great. Yeah, okay, so spoilers, after he gets her to come by fucking her hard, he finishes by face fucking her, and there's a line right before he comes where he says, "I'm gonna come, Your Excellency." And I heard it in Hayden Christensen's voice, and I, like, cracked up a lot. It was really funny. So that gave me joy. That brought me joy. If you like fan fiction, if you're like, I get off to this shit, fucking read it. Like, she's a good writer. This is good stuff. If you find this stuff hilariously amusing, also read it, because it still is also hilarious and amusing the way fan fiction always is. So, and check out her YouTube. I'm going to link both her YouTube and her website. Her YouTube, she reads aloud some of the less intense parts of the story. And it's really fun to hear it in her own voice, and things like that. She's got a lovely, lovely voice. And then go to her website, check out the stories. She's got all sorts of fun stuff up there, like Mormon porn. Hooray! And I'm pretty sure that she will write things for you on commission. So if you have any, interests or desires, whatever. Fascinating woman, Miss Becky Embers, and glad to have her support for Mindless Entertainment, and always happy to give a little bit of that back. So go check out Becky Embers. Guys, if you haven't, I'm throwing things. If you haven't checked me out on Patreon, it's fun. I'm going to try to be more active on that platform as well, so give you guys some more fun stuff there. And stay tuned, because in addition to my Jurassic World review happening tomorrow, there may also be a new t-shirt. So that's cool, and I love you guys, and goodbye.